Pseudo-pseudo-parahypothyroidism
is one of the longest words in the dictionary. Just because it's long and complicated doesn't mean it's a good diction choice. Consider these two sentences.
Bold and brash temper has been replaced by a careful, prudent manner.
Or his impetuosity has been replaced by prudence.
Which sentence is more approachable? Though the first sentence has more words, the second sentence packs a punch. While using words that are too complex sounds phony, using words like bay or triggered is too unprofessional.
Create impactful writing using active verbs and voice. Active verbs do not involve the use of to be anywhere. Verbs should be selected carefully as well because they leave an impression on the reader. Consider these two sentences. I throw the ball was thrown by me. The first sentence is written in an active voice and the second is in a passive voice. Why should we write actively instead of passively? Active sentences get to the point faster without using unnecessary words.
Be fresh. Keep the reader in a constant state of surprise by writing with wit. Also try to use similes and metaphors. In order to do this, think in terms of logic to create plenty of word pictures to take away from your piece. Consider this word picture. The smoke was like cotton balls billowing from the chimney. This will stick in the reader's head.
Did you understand that? I sure didn't. When we write in a manner that is too formal, the reader can feel like they're reading a paper written in a different language. Be authentic when you write. Tell the reader what you have to say in a manner that they can understand.
Some writers have wrongly chosen to write with an authoritative tone. No one is going to want to read your writing if you write to them from a throne, telling them that what they think is wrong and just assuming that what you think is right. Explain your ideas like you would to a friend. Which sentence sounds more inviting? Obviously, canned chicken is disgusting. Or, I can tell from experience that canned chicken is not very tasty. The second one, because it sounds like the author is cautioning you against eating canned chicken, not condemning people that like canned chicken. After 3 long sentences, add a short one. This will add a break for your reader and freshen up your paper.
Use occasional contractions to free up your writing style. Don't you want more? Or do you not want more? The second sentence is too complicated and formal. Using the occasional contraction will allow your reader to not have to decipher confusing sentences.
Use the word that instead of which. Save the word which until after a comma. This will add to the flow of your paper.
Use the word I when referring to yourself and the words we and our when referring to yourself and the reader. Use the word you when referring to the reader and the word one when referring to a random person. This frees up your sentences. Just say what you mean.
Use dashes to separate phrases for humorous effect.
Use dialogue and prose. Readers love to read dialogue and prose because it takes a break from the writer's prose.
Use plenty of word pictures that your reader can take away from your writing.
Minimize your adjectives, and when you do use them, use meaningful ones.
Minimize the number of adverbs you use in your writing. Also minimize words like really and very. They add little to no meaning to your writing. Try to replace them with nouns.
Use the fewest words possible. Write like you are getting paid for every word you delete from your rough draft, not every word you add. This will help your reader get a clear understanding of what you're trying to say.
Be sure to connect each sentence with the one before and after it. This will help with the flow of your writing and the comprehension of your ideas.
writing long essays and reports, summarize your main ideas throughout. This will help your reader understand your ideas and connect them.
Asking a meaningful question to the reader is not a bad idea. Asking a question every other sentence is a bad idea, but every once in a while, making your reader think about your ideas will help your ideas become more impactful and stick in their mind.
Use semicolons to reduce choppiness and for a change of pace. If you find yourself using too many commas, use a semicolon to keep your reader engaged.
Read your prose out loud, because if you can't understand your writing, the reader can't either.
Occasionally use numerals and parentheses to add fresh structure. This will keep your reader engaged.
When to write out numbers and when to use numerals is totally up to you. Use what feels better in the context of your writing.
When starting a sentence with and or but, do not put a comma afterwards. This leads to choppiness in your writing and defeats the purpose of using and or but.
So and yet are good leadoffs because they are clear and smooth.
When starting a sentence, use but over however, because but does not require a comma, while however does, thus creating choppiness when you say however.
Show your wit and spirits in writing. If you have fun with your writing, so will your reader.
If you need to change subjects drastically, skip 4 lines instead of the customary 2. This will be a clear indicator to your reader that you are switching to a new idea.
Choose your title with care. Since it's the first thing your reader will see, you want to make sure it's inviting.
If your writing becomes labored, stop for a second and think about how you would tell it to a friend.
Another solution to labored writing is to take a break. Read something from a writer that you admire, and then come back to your piece.